Hello, Cherif Medawar here, and it's too bad you did not make it to the live event that we had for free, a presentation of an hour and a half. So I want to kind of give you a summary of it, and hopefully you can join us for the live 3-day event we're going to be doing in your market. So my name is Cherif Medawar, and I have been teaching real estate for 21 years. Our company has been doing seminars and educational events nationwide, mainly in California. And we taught people residential, and now we focus on commercial real estate because that's where the big money is. So what we do is trainings, supports, we do partnerships, and we also have syndications, as in funds where people can invest with us. How does this help you? We give you a shortcut to success. I show you from A to Z how you can get started and what to follow step by step to succeed. And what you could do about it is come to the live 3-day event, which I'll tell you more about it momentarily. Those who would like to do this, I want you to understand that I have developed a system called the FACTS system. And the FACTS system has to do with how to find the properties and the tenants, how to analyze the numbers on the property and the local market trend, how to actually control the process of the negotiation in a very simple manner and put it all under contract so you control the property. And then when you say facts, find, analyze, control, and then the T is time. Time the process of the due diligence. How do you inspect the property? What companies can help you? How much will it cost you for multi-unit versus a retail building, etc.? So we're going to show you the due diligence, timing the due diligence, and the financing, whether you're going to get a loan from the bank or you're going to create a partnership where people can come in with you, which is called the syndication. Is when you group investors together and they give you the money. It's extremely powerful and beneficial because the final step, which is that has to do with the fact system, which is the S, strategize, which is how to strategize to get the best management company to manage the property for you, and you work on taking it to its highest and best use. So you can see on the screen here the fact system, and it's something we teach you that can apply to any type of property that you're going to be engaged in. And since I'm talking about syndication, let me explain to you what you will be getting as a syndicator, which is the person who puts the deals together for investors. You're going to actually learn in the classroom how to talk to investors about the property that you have, and you're going to actually present it to them. If you find a deal, let's say, I don't know, $1 million property, and you can get it at $600,000. Simple numbers. You don't have the $600,000 because your money is deployed somewhere else. You will learn how to group the investors together, and you will get a 3% acquisition fee. The acquisition is actually the money that you're going to get paid to acquire the property, to purchase it. On $600,000, that's $18,000. Then you're going to get usually about 20% of the cash flow, when the investors will be getting 80% of the cash flow. They put the money, you group them together, you organize the loan, and you acquire the property. The cash flow of the property pays them X, and you get some money. And then the best part is when you resell the property, because we're going to teach you how to increase the net profit, how to take it to its highest and best use. An apartment building, you can divide it into condos. You can put antennas on the roof that shoot signals on the freeway for cellular service. And they pay you for the space that they lease on the roof. So many ways to increase income, decrease expenses, and bring more to the bottom line, which increases the value of the property. When you turn around and sell it, that profit, that upside gain, you usually get 30 to 40%, and you give the investors 70%. On a deal of $600,000 that you're gonna flip, let's say at $1 million, or resell in a year at $1 million, they get about $300,000, and you get $100,000 for putting that deal together. And just getting into the deal, you got $18,000 and some of the cash flow while you wait to do the transaction. Some syndications take a year. Some we do larger syndications where people can be in it for 3 to 5 to 7 years. It depends. Sometimes we even increase the value, refinance, cash out. Everybody gets all the money out, and we keep them for the cash flow to enjoy for years to come. So I want to share with you a few strategies that we teach. And when we do the 3-day training, we talk on day 1 about syndications in full, so you really master this. And then on day 2 and 3, we follow the fact system to explain really very specifically how to make money, how to reduce taxes, and how to really have a multiplier on what you're doing to scale your business and leverage it. So let me give you some just very basic strategies. For example, let's say we had this student, I'll give you a specific example on a student who had purchased, husband and wife, they purchased a property, it was in Dallas, $200,000 15 years ago, and now it was worth $500,000. And what they wanted to do is, they wanted to get out, they wanted to cash out, and they wanted to sell it. But, and why did they want to sell it? Because when you live in a home for 2 years, husband and wife, let's say, and you sell it, as long as you live 2 in the last 5 years, you get to claim the gain, which is in this case $300,000 in profit. You get to keep that tax-free. Internal Revenue Code Section 121 allow us to do that. Extremely powerful, extremely generous from the government. Tax-free, I said. But they didn't want to sell it. They decided, you know what, we can rent it, Cherif, and we can actually keep owning it because the market is going out. But if we rent it and go on and live in a bigger house, what's going to happen is we're going to lose that tax-free profit that Internal Revenue Code gives us because we have to have lived in it 2 in the last 5. So if we move out and we live in another home for 4 years, we sell this, we're going to have to pay taxes on the gains. We gave them the solution, which is simply this. Set them up with an S corporation. They sell it to the S corporation with financing carrying the $300,000 as a note. That's an installment sale. And that $300,000 is tax-free. And guess what? They can opt out of taxes with the IRS on that year. And so they get the $300,000 locked in as tax-free profit. And they rent the property. And now the value of the property is $500,000, and you get depreciation on 80% of that, which is $400,000. So you can write off, and we'll teach you about depreciation, etc. You can write off the $400,000 over 27 and a half years. That's about $14,500 something every year. So the rental income is written off against the actual write-off of the depreciation. They end up having tax-free profit from rental. The property continues to go up in value, and they locked in profits of $300,000, making their balance sheet and their financial data a lot better, a lot more powerful for the bank to go and get into the investment world. So this is with residential homes. Let's take this a step further. Let's say it wasn't a residential home. Let's say it was a duplex, and you had the duplex for $200,000, and now it's worth $500,000. So you had 2 renters. It's an investment property. And now you want to sell it. Why? Because you learned in the class in the 3 days how you can take small apartment buildings, decrease expenses, increase income. We'll show you so many strategies to do that. We even have an Excel sheet that you can get a copy of right away today when you call us in the office to enroll for the 3-day class. We even have the entire process and system for you to follow and master and get good with the numbers and know what you're doing. But let's say you got that property at $200,000 and now it's worth $500,000. And you say, hey Cherif, I want to go get a multi-unit building, maybe an 8-unit apartment building. We love the small ones. You can buy them easily, you can finance them easily, you can analyze them easily, and you can sell them a lot easier. So how do you do this? If you sell the property to go acquire a bigger one, do you pay taxes? Well, there is a way not to pay taxes, and it's called Internal Revenue Code 1031. You have 45 days to identify up to 3 properties, and 135 days additional to close on one of them. And the key word here is rolling over. You roll over, so the key words are rolling over, you roll over your profit. So you can take that $500,000 and go acquire maybe an apartment building for $1.5 million, small apartment building. And do what we teach you in the class. Decrease expenses, increase the income. After all, you're buying it because it has that potential of value add. And when you do that, the property goes up to $2 million maybe. You can also sell it again, and instead of really selling it, you're exchanging it. It's called an exchange, a 1031 exchange. That's the Internal Revenue Code right here. And you roll the profits over. You can keep rolling over forever and ever. And at any time you need money, you can refinance and cash out money. You can cash out $250,000, $300,000. That's not even taxable. That's how you grow and you get better in real estate. With your home, you can start. With a small investment property, you can do it, or you can go right into these. I'll give you an example. One of the properties I bought was a small apartment building that had 12 units in total, and the front area was retail. It's what you call mixed-use property. And actually, it was not even for sale. The owner downstairs, who was a jeweler, had a sign for lease. And I called him, I said, would you like to sell that small apartment building? How many units is it? He said 12 apartments on top. He said, I'm out of business, I'm in my 80s now, my son is not interested in being a jeweler. You can buy it, but I'm not gonna negotiate much. It's $2.5 million, take it or leave it. Well, I don't care what the price is, I care what can I do with the building. Can I take it to another use? Of course I could. Had 4 apartments vacant, a couple apartments needed total rehab. He had his staff working, living upstairs from his jewelry store, and they were paying half the rent that they should, and the retail space was empty. Put it under contract, And as I was doing the due diligence, I was smiling and dialing, calling retail tenants. And then I got a tenant to come in. It was a French company that does patisserie. And they leased downstairs for $10,000 a month, just to take the corner space. And upstairs, we improved the units, put some washer and dryer, stackable washer and dryer, cleaned up the floors, put AC units, put some fans. Sometimes we don't like to put fans, we don't want moving units, but this was very nice to put the nice fans. It was amazing. We ended up making $2,500 on average per unit, times 12. The key thing, the net was about $25,000 a month, which is still $300,000 a year just from the upstairs units. And downstairs, as I told you, the retail, $120,000, which by the way, retail, they pay me triple net. If you don't know what triple net is, it's when a retail tenant pays you the lease, net of taxes, net of insurance, net of maintenance. So I'm making $120,000 net from downstairs, $300,000 net from the residential. The property went to make on $420,000 a year. I took that property at $2.5 million, and the bank appraised it 90 days later, $5.2 million based on the income. Guys, it cost me, by the way, in the interest of full disclosure, $200,000 in rehab. That's $2.7 million my cost. I sell it today, I can get $2.5 million profit. Some people are gonna say, don't sell it. Don't sell it, Cherif, it's making $420,000 a year. Guys, if I took a $2.5 million, made it 5.2. What if I do a 1031 exchange, get a 5.2 and make it 10 million? And do it again to 20 million? You cannot stop. If you know what you're doing, nothing will stop you. You can only be your own worst enemy if you think this is a fantasy, because it's out there, people are making millions. And you can come in, learn in the training how we do this, and make it happen for yourself. I look forward to seeing you in the training, and I hope you follow up with Nancy or one of my team so we can see you in person. Thank you so much. Appreciate your time.